Right. Okay. So, Mark, it's that part of the conversation where we actually put ourselves on the spot about who we think is going to be winning or losing or drawing in weekend action. We have, as usual, 6 games. We pick either 6 or 7, but I think we'll do 6 this weekend. And one of them will be the Chan final, and 5 of them Premiership games, England Premiership games, because 5 of those games actually involve what we call the Big Six. The guys out there very, very interested in what we have to say about the Big Six. And we've not done too badly over the first 2 weekends, I must say. But let's start here. There's a London derby, Chelsea versus Fulham.
Chelsea versus Fulham, that's an easy one. Had a game in a Craven Cottage, I would have gone for a different score, but I'll go for Chelsea. I'll go for Chelsea in this one. Chelsea scored 5 in the last one against West Ham. I see many goals in that Chelsea team, Mark. I'm going for a 3-0.
Yeah, I do see goals in the Chelsea team as well. I called that for last week because I thought that that firepower with Delap and Joao Pedro, and the manager has actually found a way of starting both. That was mostly because I think of the injury to Cole Palmer. It allowed him to start both Pedro and Delap. Pedro actually in the 10, and then the Brazilian kid Estevao and Pedro Neto on either side. He's got Jamie Gittens in reserve, and plenty of several other players, of course, coming out of midfield. They also have goals, especially from their captain, Enzo Fernandez. Fulham played really, really well against Man United. I'm thinking they have got issues in front of goal themselves. They should have won that game against Man United last weekend from their second half showing. But for some reason, they're benching some of the guys who should be scoring goals. And when they popped off the bench, you thought that they were a bigger threat. That Raul Jimenez especially, and the kid from Arsenal,
Smith Rowe.
Yeah. But it's a London derby, so I'm not too sure your scoreline is what will transpire, because I mean Chelsea have started 3 London derbies and the games have been tough for them. West Ham, until Chelsea started scoring, had looked like they might compete. Never mind. I'm also going for a Chelsea win, but I'm going 2-1. Second game, Mark, we have got Brighton versus Man City.
Well, City were poor against Spurs. Spurs seem to have City's number. But I think part of that, I'll blame the coach, Pep Guardiola. I want to think he'll have learned from his mistakes in that game. I expect City to bounce back in this one. I'll go for a City victory. It won't be an easy game, but I'm going for City 2-1.
Okay, and then Spurs-Bournemouth?
Spurs-Bournemouth, I'm going for Spurs 2-0.
Well, I didn't call the City one myself. Yeah, I believe that they should bounce back from that loss. Brighton is a tough game for them always. It's got to do with style, I think. But they're going to make amends. I thought that Pep...
They should make amends.
I thought that Pep got 1 or 2 calls wrong as far as the starting team was concerned. It was composed largely of 2 people, 2 different types of player. The newbies and the kids. I thought that there was a lot of experience left out on the bench for a game that big against a boggy side like Spurs. I thought that players like Bernardo...
By the way...
even Rodri should have been on the pitch.
Yeah.
But they were not, and they got beat. I think they'll make amends. I think they'll win. And I'm giving them a 2-1 as well. The third, is that 2 games now or 3?
Yeah, you gave me 3 games. You haven't called Spurs. I've gone for Spurs. Bournemouth.
Yeah, I'm going for a home win as well for Spurs. I think
that will give Spurs 9 points after 3 games.
No. I'm changing my prediction. I just saw Mujib Kasola around the corner, so I'm changing my prediction just to wile him, and I'm going for a draw.
Okay.
I'm going for Spurs Bournemouth draw at the Tottenham Stadium. Then Man United versus Burnley.
Well, tough one. United just don't look like they can score goals. Even against a team as poor as Burnley, I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw, Mark.
I'm going for 3-1 Man United.
0-0 at Old Trafford.
I think finally the floodgates will open. Once one hits the back of the net from either Cunha or Mbeumo, or perhaps even Asesco or Bruno,
Well, they
The
got
floodgates are going to
they got one through Euro and they're not floodgates which
They've
opened
been
at Craven
threatening.
Cottage.
They did against Arsenal in the first half against Fulham. They did, even if they were very.
I see goals in
second.
just about each and every other Premier League team apart from Man United.
Well, I'm seeing goals in this one. So I'm going for 3-1. And then the two big ones. One, the Premiership, and the other, the Chan final. So let me start with the Premiership one. The big one for the weekend is Liverpool versus Arsenal. Sunday at Anfield.
I'm going for a 1-1 draw. I know it's always tough at Anfield, but Arsenal are going to cause all sorts of problems for Liverpool. Liverpool score goals, they just don't defend as good as they've looked over the last couple of seasons defensively. I see many holes in that defense. Newcastle exposed them, Bournemouth exposed them. I see goals, but because it's a big game, I'm going for a 1-1 draw at Anfield.
Yeah, for this one, we agree. I'm going for a draw as well. And I'm thinking 2-2, actually. I'm going 2-2. If there's a winner, I'd fancy the away team because of their superior defense. But we'll see about that. And then the final one, Morocco versus Madagascar.
Morocco versus Madagascar.
In Nairobi.
I have a sneaky feeling that we could have shades of the Champions League final or the FIFA World Cup final. Madagascar have been resilient, but I just see Morocco blowing them apart. It could be one of those one-sided finals, Mark. I'm afraid. I think I will be there, by the way. I'll be at the Kasarani for that one. I think Morocco is going to win that final 4-0.
No, I'm not buying. I am thinking that Madagascar are actually going to give them a game. I remember we were here and we discussed the Club World Cup and everybody was thinking PSG versus Real Madrid was the final before the final, and whoever won that would blow the other one away, the other side away. So Chelsea took care of Botafogo the other side quietly, got into the final and blew PSG off the pitch. Yet everybody thought that having beaten Madrid with Mbappe and Vinicius and everybody at Chelsea would be easy meat. It weren't. So I'm thinking Madagascar will give Morocco a game.
Madagascar have a suspension. They've gotten to the final through guts, resilience, and a certain wave of defiance because they beat Kenya in a shootout.
So you think they've run
and
out?
then they beat Sudan with 10 men in the semi-final. Now they kept coming up against a Moroccan team, which has picked at the right time. Morocco, it cleaned Tanzania. It was a 1-0 massacre. I thought against Senegal, that was always going to be a very tough semi-final. They treated us to quite a glorious spectacle at Nambole in the semi-final, Mark, on Tuesday. I just think in the final, Morocco are going to show that they are Morocco, and Madagascar will prove that they are Madagascar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going what? Okay. You've somehow biased me. So I'm thinking now, I'm beginning to think also Morocco have way too much firepower. I don't see where Madagascar's goals come from, but somehow they conjure them up. That goal against the Sudan was totally unexpected and against the run of play. But anyways, I'll go for a 2-0 for Morocco in the final. Thank you. We will once again be pitting our wits against each other and seeing who leads in the predictions table.